Hello, welcome to another informative episode on White Davy Gardening and Worm Farm. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I'm working on. So what you're looking at here is my potting mix that I just put together. This also includes some of the soil that I sterilized a few months ago from my indoor garden. So I added some worm castings to it and sift it to ensure that there are no large particles. These are the containers from my indoor garden that I sterilized a few months ago. And over here are the containers that I already have potting mix in. I'm going to be using these to start my winter garden because I do not have a lot of grow lights. So for my cool weather crop, I am going to be winter starting them. So they're going to be going in these jugs. It's getting dark outside. So this is my shelving that I had my indoor garden on. So I just cleaned it and removed the pots because I'm going to be filling the pots with soil, because in 2 weeks I will be able to start my onions, and I'll be growing 2 varieties of onions. So in 2 weeks I'll be able to start those indoors, so I want to make sure that I have the soil prepared for that. I also will be able to start my tomatoes and peppers and my sweet potatoes and things like that in 3 weeks time. So I want to make sure that all the plants that I'm going to be started indoors, I have the material prepared for it. Now I won't be starting all the seeds that I want to plant all at once. I'm going to be planting some of them. So if I know that I want 6 peppers, I'm going to start with 3, but I'm going to be sowing at least the 6 seeds so that I can take out the 3 strongest one. And just in case they should get damaged by cutworms, then I'll have 3 to replace them. And then 2 weeks later, I'm going to be planting another 6 with the intent of using 3. So that is what I am working on today. So let's get started. Okay, so I am consulting my records of when to grow, when to start my stuff inside, to know what it is that I'm going to be starting. So based on what I'm seeing here, I'm going to be able to start my onions and peppers and tomatoes in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I can also start the brassicas, peas and lettuce, but those are going to be winter soon. So I have a large varieties of peppers and a large varieties of tomatoes that I'm going to be starting. So those are what I'm going to be working on now. I'm not sure if I have enough soil to start all the seedlings that I want, but I'm going to start off with what I have. And you might be wondering why it is that I'm starting with such large containers and not seed trays. I don't really like the idea of transplanting 2, 3, 4 times before I actually transplant outdoors, because each time you transplant, you're affecting the root of the plant and you're slowing down the growth. So I'm just gonna start in these large containers, and then for my peppers, each varieties, I can just put 4 peppers or 5 peppers in here, and hopefully that will be enough to give it enough room for it to grow, for the roots to grow by the time I'm ready to transplant it. So I was able to fill all my containers with soil, so I'm pretty happy about that. So now I just have to find somewhere to enough space to put all these containers. I'm going to have to rearrange underneath here, and I'm going to have to redo my grow light stand. So I'm going to rearrange underneath here so that the plants that require grow light, I can keep them underneath here. Those that does not require a lot of light, I'm going to keep them on the upper part of the shelf. Okay, so I have things organized under my lower shelf, and I have the grow lights set up the way I want them. And on the top here I rearranged the shelving, and if you notice in these containers I have divided them up into 4 with cardboard, and that is because this will be growing 4 different variety of tomatoes. So there are 2 of my tomatoes that I am interested in growing a lot of the plants, and for the others that I don't really want a lot, I'm only going to be growing 1 or 2 of each plant, because I don't really have a lot of space in my garden to be growing the other types. So this is why I have the container divided up, and I did that for my peppers and my tomato containers. So guys, did you find this video informative? Would you like to learn more? Why not take a moment to like, share, leave a comment in the section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.